Greetings, fellow seekers. Today we uncover a horror not of brute strength, but of insidious cunning, an entity that does not simply kill its victims, but replaces them. Lurking in the shadows of the Underdark and beyond, the Intellect Devourer is a twisted creation of the mind Flayers, a being that feasts not on flesh but on thought itself. A monstrous brain given legs and a hunger for domination, the Intellect Devourer does not wage war with swords or spells. It creeps into the mind, hollowing out its victims until they are nothing more than empty vessels, puppets to an unseen master. Join us as we unravel the horrors of this grotesque parasite, its origins, its abilities, and the chilling tales that mark its passage through the world. The Intellect Devourer is not a natural creature, nor is it born in the traditional sense. Instead, it is a creation, a living weapon of the Elithids, the dreaded mind Flayers. Forged in their dark laboratories, these creatures exist solely to serve their masters, acting as spies, infiltrators, and parasites that bring new victims into the fold. Formed through a process both biological and psionic, an Intellect Devourer begins as a pulsing embryonic cluster of raw brain matter, shaped by psionic energy into its grotesque quadrupedal form. Once matured, it is unleashed upon the world, seeking prey to inhabit and manipulate in service to the greater schemes of its Illithid overlords. While they are most commonly found lurking in mind flayer colonies, Intellect Devourers are not bound to them alone. Some roam freely in the Underdark, while others find their way into cities, hidden among the unsuspecting, wearing stolen bodies as they move unnoticed among the living. A horrifying fusion of brain and beast, the Intellect Devourer resembles a humanoid brain perched upon four grotesque clawed limbs. Though small, roughly the size of a dog, it carries an unnatural presence, its very form exuding an aura of psychic menace. Its primary weapon is neither claw nor fang, but its psionic prowess. The creature attacks not with brute force, but by assaulting the mind, bombarding victims with waves of psychic energy that leave them reeling in confusion or frozen in terror. But its true horror lies in its most feared ability: mind extraction. Once a victim is sufficiently weakened, the Intellect Devourer can consume their very consciousness, feasting upon their intelligence until nothing remains but an empty shell. Then, with an unnatural squelching sound, it crawls inside, replacing the victim's brain and assuming control of their body. Those possessed in this way become mere puppets, their actions directed by the Intellect Devourer, their voice and mannerisms mimicked with eerie precision. They retain no memory, no autonomy, only the illusion of normalcy, as the predator within walks them among their former friends and allies, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Even more terrifying is the fact that a devourer's control does not fade when the body perishes. Once its host is no longer useful, it can slither free, seeking out new prey, new minds to consume, new lives to steal. The most terrifying aspect of an Intellect Devourer is that by the time you realize it is near, it may already be too late. Adventurers who suspect its presence must act swiftly. For every moment wasted is another moment it has to infiltrate, to replace, to turn friend against friend. Magic capable of detecting thoughts or revealing illusions may unmask it, but even then, the battle is far from over. While an Intellect Devourer can be struck down like any other creature, doing so does not undo the true damage it inflicts. Its real power lies not in its skittering, brain-like form, but in the way it burrows into the minds of its victims, replacing thought and identity with its own. Killing the creature's body is simple. Undoing its influence is far more difficult. Only by severing its control, by unweaving its influence, can one hope to stop it. The Intellect Devourer has been the subject of countless grim tales, whispered warnings among adventurers and scholars alike. One such legend is that of the vanishing of Thornwick, a once thriving village that fell eerily silent in the span of a single week. Travelers passing through noted that the townsfolk spoke and acted strangely, their faces frozen in unnatural smiles, their conversations almost normal, but never quite right. Those who lingered too long vanished without a trace. When a band of adventurers finally investigated, they found the town abandoned, except for the glistening, skittering horrors lurking beneath the floorboards. Another tale tells of the Hollow King, a noble lord whose mind was devoured in secret, his body worn as a puppet by the entity within. For years the kingdom prospered, its ruler appearing wise, insightful, almost too intelligent. Yet beneath the surface, strange decrees passed. Once loyal advisors disappeared and whispers of an unseen force spread through the court. By the time the truth was uncovered, it was too late. Entire noble houses had already fallen, their leaders consumed and replaced, their kingdom little more than a playground for an unseen master. Perhaps the most disturbing tale, however, is that of the self-devouring scholar, a wizard who sought to understand the Intellect Devourer and, in doing so, became its victim. It is said that, in his arrogance, he captured one of these creatures and attempted to study it in secret. But the devourer was patient. It whispered to him, eroded his mind, made him doubt his own thoughts. And when he was weak, when his sanity wavered, he became his own greatest experiment. His mind shattered, his body claimed. He continued his work, only now it was the creature writing the notes. The Intellect Devourer is a creature of true horror, a parasite not of the body, but of the mind. It does not simply take lives, it steals them, wearing its victims like masks, turning allies into enemies without ever raising a blade. It is not a brute force of destruction, nor a mindless predator. It is something worse, something patient, something insidious. And thus, we conclude this entry into the archives of the Seeker Society. If you've enjoyed this journey into the darkest corners of the mind, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Have you ever encountered an Intellect Devourer in your adventures? Share your stories in the comments below. And if there is another creature that you would like us to explore next, please let us know. Until next time, Seekers, trust your mind while it is still your own.